Hey everyone, welcome back to another video of Cosplay with Arena. And as you could probably tell by the thumbnail in this video, we're going to be doing a breakdown and look through at my old Deathstroke cosplay that I made way back before I even started this channel. So basically, the reason why I'm actually uploading this video, because as you would have probably know, that Gammacon is actually back in town this year on June the 1st. And basically there's gonna be like a cosplay competition, DIYs, gifts, and also John Jared will be here as well as other cast members, creators, and entertainers. So that's basically the reason why I thought about starting this video to talk about what I did for my Deathstroke armor. So without further ado, let's get straight to it. So basically, this is basically like an old Iron Man mask that I converted into a Deathstroke mask, which you can see right in the back here. Like it basically looks like a big mess going on back here because you gotta like some duct tape, some spray paint, and also and one of these lines right here, which you can tell is an Iron Man mask, but if you flip it on the other side here, it looks way different compared to what it looks like on the inside. And I just basically took that exact mask, mask up the mouth hole in the eye mask, used some body filler, and coated the entire mask in that, sanded it down, and I just painted it in the correct color, weather it, and sew in some straps on behind to emulate the ties on the back, and that's basically how I did my Deathstroke mask. So you know, you can tell that my improvement of skills has quite changed since for the last decade or so. So this is basically one of the first masks I made before anything else like the Batsuit build and that kind of thing. So for that, we can move forwards. Alright, so the chest armor. So basically what this is actually like a airsoft or paintball armor that I got on eBay, and I masked it and painted to emulate Deathstroke, even at the scratch marks and whatnot. And you could turn around on the other side here. Same principle as the front end. It's basically just masked and painted to emulate Deathstroke, as well as the scuff marks. And the shoulder pads right up here are actually some knee pads that you can actually get from Bunnings Warehouse. Here's an interesting fun fact about these particular shoulder pads. The Deathstroke costume that was used in the CW Arrow series, which you can see right about here. You can actually see that these particular shoulder pads look very familiar to you. That's because they use the exact same brand knee pads that they use for the shoulder pads on their Deathstroke costume. And I thought I'd include this in there as a little Easter egg. So, and also, for the right shoulder pad as well, I just, it's basically the same principle, masked and painted to look like Deathstroke. And I got this, little the 12 gauge shotgun shell holsters from Southwest Stock Feed, and I just punched the holes, riveted them onto the knee pads, and these the shotgun shells right about here are just 3D printed and painted, and they just slot into there, and that's the torso armor and shoulder pads. Okay, now we're gonna move forward. Alright. Now onto the shin guards. Now these particular shin guards are actually some motocross shin guards that I got from Fleabay, which is basically what I meant by eBay, of course. And I did the same treatment like the torso armor, mask them, paint them, weather it, and funny enough, some cosplayers who I actually knew basically used these exact same knee pads for their tactical cosplays. So if you're basically, let's say, on the route for putting together like a tactical suit or any suit that's basically like military ready in general and on a shoestring budget, highly recommend these type of shin guards. So now we're gonna move on to the elbows and forearm pads. Now onto the elbow and forearm pads. Now, just like everything else, this is basically some I'm not even sure if these elbow or forearm pads that are made for skateboarding and whatnot. And I just got these at Salvation Army or Vinnie's, and I had just messed up the elbow pads, painted them orange, add some scuff marks with some washes, and basically the way that I actually wore them on my forearm is I gotta wrap it constantly, and just so it's nice and tight, so I can just strap them under there, and that the same thing can be done for both of them. So now we're going to be moving on to the small components, and that's about it. But before the small components, we got to talk about the pouches and belts. Now onto the bandolier. Basically, this is something that I actually sewn on my sewing machine, and there's like there's the nylon strap and this buckle, and the buckle right about here came from the disposals. These two black pouches right here are also from the disposals. The grenade pouches I actually got on eBay, and it's got a little sheath for my katana, which you would see later on. And right down here, I also include a snap. That goes from the bandolier to the side of my belt. This is just so because due to the amount of weight this thing carries, you basically want to make sure that this stays put without sliding everywhere around you. So I added a snap on here just so the bandolier would stay put, so it wouldn't shift around as much. And the neat thing about this bandolier, since it has a functional purpose, this can even act as an emergency release whenever it gets caught. So that's basically the bandolier. Alrighty, onto the utility belt, and there is a lot going on this. So basically the belt that I went with is actually a tactical belt, a tactical security belt that I got on eBay, and I just add some random pouches onto certain parts, like this little leg pouch for my left leg. I actually got on eBay as well, and just straps around my left leg. And you got this holster right up here for a Colt M1911 pistol, which you would see later on. And this entire suspender setup is from another tactical gear that I had lying around, and this is just so that the belt would stay upright no matter where I move, because I actually wore these belts in the past and they would shift from up and down, left and side to side. Like, you definitely need something that just so it would stay put, but for being attached to the belt, it does a good job, and I love it. So now moving on to the gloves. The gloves that I actually use are some tactical gloves that I got on eBay, and they're basically like the right base that I was going for. So I painted the knuckle section and the finger guards right here with some orange acrylics, and then weather it. And yeah, as you could tell, which I'm not even sure if you could see up on camera, they are starting to crack and fade just from the amount of times I'm using it, but it pretty much adds to the effect I was going for of this worn-torn armor. So yep, that's it for the gloves. And now we're moving on to the small sections. Now we're moving on to the neck scarf. Now, for those of you who are curious about the neck scarf, allow me to explain a couple of things. One, before Slade was actually Deathstroke in the CW series, he actually did wore a similar looking neck scarf whilst hanging out with Oliver in the island throughout the flashback scenes, and in the Nightwing series, which actually has Deathstroke as the main antagonist, he did wear a similar looking neck scarf around his neck. So that, along with the knee pads, will be another Easter egg that I added to this cosplay. So the way I put this on here is I just wrap it around my neck, and yep. So this basically gives you a general idea on how it's gonna look on me. So now we're gonna be moving on to the balaclava. So the balaclava that is used not only to hide my neck when I'm wearing this cosplay, but also to hide the back of the neck when I'm wearing the face mask. So this is basically just like a ski balaclava that I got on eBay, and I reckon that it suits the parts, so it just slips on like so. And so it does actually have the open face what I'm going for, which I think does suit the cosplay a bit more with everything else. So and now we're gonna be moving on to the armory. So now we're gonna be moving on to the armory. As you would have probably knew from the amount of times you heard about this character, he's well known for carrying some form of firearms and a katana sword. So basically, what exactly I got laid right here is actually the arsenal that I actually use. So we'll start off with a Colt M1911 pistol. Now, just be mindful, this isn't the real Colt M1911. This is basically a toy version of the pistol that I repainted it. Now, it probably wouldn't actually hurt for me to paint the barrel section orange so I could take this to a convention. But basically, I like to give a shout out to Cosplay Chris for this technique when it comes to painting these Colts. And so many people actually following them as well. But basically, the way they do it is you just has a removable magazine and you just... That is scary indeed. So that's it for the Colt. Now for the katana sword. Now the katana sword that I went with is actually a cheap costume katana sword that I got from Bargain Buys, which is basically a local dollar shop in town. And I basically just painted and whether the entire katana, wrapped some parachute cord around the handle, wrapped some fabric along the handle that I just tied in a knot here, just so it will give it a nice effect. And it's lightweight, and you could do some spins anytime you like onto it. So that's it for the arsenal. Alrighty, now we're going to be moving on to the undergarments. So basically, what I got here is a tactical shirt that I actually got on eBay, and this is basically what I wore under everything else, which also gives the layer of this is basically like an actual uniform that he wore in the franchise. So just gives it an extra bit of detail. So now at this point in time, I don't actually have the cargo pants and the boots out of the stage, but basically what I actually used is some black military cargo pants that I wore under everything else, quite similar to the undershirt, and the boots are the same boots that I used for the Crow and the bat suits. Alrighty. So I basically just break down everything from top to bottom. So without further ado, let's probably wouldn't hurt just to try it on before after all these years.
Hey everyone, Adrian here. I just thought I'll finish the video by showing you some of the footage of me at Gammacon. It's a pretty nervous experience, but overall a fun time. Had a really good time chatting with people and everyone else who attended. Sadly though, I didn't win the competition. But that's actually a good thing, as I can improve myself around next year's competition, like showing off the finished batsuit for example, which you'll probably see in the future video later on the channel. Overall, had a good time at Gammacon, got to meet John Jarrett, who also played Mick Taylor in the Wolf Creek movies. So without further ado, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to follow me on Facebook and Instagram, and follow my Facebook group, and subscribe and comment to my YouTube channel. And without further ado, I'll see you in the next video.